Monday, we do this where we inspire and equip and provoke you into action so that you are doing, what needs to be done, and you're not making excuses because nobody's got time for that. George, billionaire, Uncle Billy, a Billy in the building.
Holla. It's your boy, George Billionaire.
Yeah.
On Hustle Hard.
True that.
Capi Talk 100.4 FM. The best place to be every single day. Mm-hmm. I always tell people there's so many radio stations out there, but there's none other like Capi Talk.
Tell them.
We get to listen to some good vibes.
Tell them.
Good music.
That's
we
it.
get into some real life stories. We're here on Hustle Hard, giving you some insight on how you can change your life.
True.
And ultimately that's what radio should be about. Mm-hmm. And Capi Talk is the best place to be. And on Monday, especially on Monday, this is where we get that hustle inside you to get pumped up, so you can
bring it out.
So you can go through that whole week. Fire up.
I was actually speaking to Q when I got in, and I was like, I'm trying to find my kick. I'm trying to find my vibe. Then he says to me, but isn't George coming in today? I'm like, that's it.
That's right.
That's it. George is coming in today, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. So just update on stuff that you be teaching us, and I'm the class captain of the pulses.
Yeah.
And I have to lead by example. You spoke about networking with people and following through with your mentors because success leaves clues. I recently started really talking to Edna Mkurajija. Wow. I had been watching her from a distance and just hearing about her work, but in the past month or so, I've been intentional about my steps towards getting to know her. Then we met at 2 events in one weekend, and she's like, you know what, I'm not seeing you this frequently for nothing. God is really up to something and all. Yeah. So today I went and I purchased her book.
Wow.
You Have All It Takes.
Wow.
And it's from the Woman Excel. And I'm thinking, success is all up in this book right now. I don't even have to sit down with him. And then, True. So the next time I see her, I've got a reference point. I've gone through her book, and I'll be like, so Mom, when you did this in 1994, and she'll be like, wow.
This person knows me. Yeah.
And linking it with our topic today, that poverty is a mindset. This is the second phase of the topic. I had to look at it is because we just throw these words around so carelessly, thinking we know exactly what it is. So before I hand it over to you, I'm just going to take you guys to Uncle Google, who tells us what mindset is. And Uncle Google breaks it down like this. A mindset is a characteristic of your mental attitude. So your mindset has everything to do with your attitude.
That's right.
And then it goes on to say a habitual or characteristic mental attitude that does what? That determines how you will interpret and respond to situations. That's what a mindset is.
That's right.
Your attitude, how you respond and interpret situations. So if someone says to you, but George, can it be done? Your mindset will either say, this person wants to bring me down, or this person is questioning if I've done my due diligence, if I've done my feasibility studies, have I checked out what I want to do?
Yeah.
Your mindset is going to determine whether this person is attacking you or actually giving you constructive criticism.
That's true.
So George comes through every Monday, provoking, inspiring, and equipping us. And then the attitudes and the mindsets of people.
You see, and it's a big challenge. And, mindset is everything.
Yeah.
Mindset is everything. Now, in the Word of God,
take us there.
There's a simple verse that says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yeah.
There's no way you can be transformed until you are renewed mentally in your mind. Now, I love how you started the show today with your book. I myself, Becky, we always talk about it. I came with my book today that I'm reading. It's not how good you are. It's how good you want to be.
So tell me, how many times do you have to go over a book until it makes sense?
Do you know the thing about a book, believe it or not, whenever you read a book, they are at different stages in life and encountering different issues at certain periods in your life. So there's a part which may not have caught up with you. It's like reading the Bible. There may be a verse you may go through and not understand it. But when you're going through hardship and turmoil, you will understand Psalms 23, verse 1 to 6.
Right.
But the last time you didn't understand what it meant because things were okay. So is it with reading books. And I'm one person who always encourages people with him. If your mindset is not constantly learning something every single day, I think I've told you about one of the rituals I do every single morning. I have a 20 to 30 minute time I give myself. I call it me time. And this is for my mind to work out. Now there are people who are no mukira kwenda ku gym. But for me, my mind is the most important tool that's going to help me to go from where I am to where I want to be. So nothing better than to start giving my mind some positivity by applying some of the things that I am learning in these books that I'm reading. So to people who are listening, I encourage you, if Becky Kay and George Bailey here are reading books, please find it in your free time to invest in self-development books. It's important because these things will transform your mind, and I love the definition of mindset you given by Google.
That thing changed me.
Majority of people's mindsets have been put down on them because of the way they were raised. Now Becky, trust you me, takakura kwakasiyana, right? Some came from poor backgrounds, but trust you me, if your poor mindset which you grew up with is the one that you're expecting you to take you to the promised land, you will never go there. But when you make it a deliberate effort to say, you know what, it doesn't matter where I came from, where I am today, and to people who are listening to us of many different ages, today if you just begin to tell yourself, kuti hakuna word rinonzi I can't, right? I can't is the mindset of somebody who put a cap on your life or on your situation.
Who said you can only go this far, you can't go beyond this point.
Whether you think, Henry Ford says it in an amazing quote, whether you think you can
or you think
you can't,
you are right.
You are right. And it mufungwa mako ningwatozvisaiza wega because of what you have thought about yourself. But to he, and there's so many great people who have made it in life. They believed that they could. And this is where poverty mindset comes in. The mindset of lack, the mindset of I can't, the mindset of so and so said, the mindset of people's opinions defining you. So majority of people are going to, as I always say, they are going to go to heaven and be shown a pictorial view of what they could have been. But then because of their lack of updating their mindset, on this planet, thank God for the internet, baby. I learned so much from YouTube. I learned so much from these books. I learned so much from podcasts that we watch, that we learn. And in Indoto Shaya wanotanzi andina mari kutenga book. Okay. But look, you've got Netflix, you've got YouTube, there are actually specific things you can watch which can help you.
True story.
There's the men who built America. There's so many inspiring things about all these great people. You can watch about how Strive Masiwa did it, how Aliko Dangote did it. All of this kuyedza kuireza that poverty mindset. And trust you me, as Africans, growing up, to all African parents listening, when you are taken to a doctor by African parents, as a child, you don't speak. Your parents speak on your behalf of how you are feeling. Yet they are not the ones who are sick. But when you see the other ones, they will be the doctor will say, how's your son feeling? Let him tell you.
Let him tell you.
They empower the child at a young age to be able to speak. And not to dictate.
I think that's where our
things.
problem is as a black people also, that we want to speak on the behalf of our children and not give them a voice. And then when they're older and they can't stand up for themselves, what's wrong with you? Why can't you stand up? And like, no, hold up. For the past 16, 20 years of my life, you've been speaking for me, and then now I must just learn how to speak. We need to teach them like now. That's the mindset that we need to have. 0719 100 404. A message from 4382. The mindset is a big one. It's like a software upgrade. It's our thinking that we need to control. I'm currently reading The Secret, maybe for the 4th time. Whenever I reread a book, my perspective always changes because I am not stationary. I'm developing, and there are certain concepts that only make sense once you are at a certain level. And then he sent a picture of the book that they are reading. Another one says, Becky, mindset. I think that the whole aspect of a mindset now, because we've broken it down and we now know what it is, our attitude towards things, how we respond and how we react to situations. Now with the poverty mindset, do I have to have money to have a positive mindset, like a wealthy mindset, and not have a poverty mindset? Do I have to have some form of cash flow? Do I have to be wealthy?
So that's a beautiful question. And there's so many people who think that positivity has to do with financial resources. So I will look back at one of the greatest boxers of all time. His name is Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And Muhammad Ali, from a young age, used to go around saying he's going to be the heavyweight champion of the world. That was a mindset that he had. At a young age, he began to speak these things forth. And because of that positivity, guess what happened? Ultimately, he became that, because that's what he desired it. And at that time, he was absolutely nobody. I will look back and look at the Serena, the Williams sisters, the tennis players. And if we've watched that movie, it will show you that mindset the father instilled in his kids from a young age. They came from a poor background, but the way he spoke to them, the way he treated them, changed their mindset to equip them for later on.
Come on.
That you may have lost this game, but you're going to be the champ. You're going to be a winner. You're going to be the best in the whole wide world. It's like a mindset, truly speaking, especially to parents as well. It's important we begin to equip our kids from the negative mindsets that we grew up with, and now we begin to expose them to speaking positively. I think majority of people who grew up with fathers, our former generation fathers, who, if you say, Dad, I love you, it would, you'll never really express that, or, you'll never hear your father say, I'm proud of you. These are now things that with this generation parents, you have to empower your kids. You have to show them love. You have to be supportive to them. And this changes the mindset of your children, and it's going to have a ripple effect on generations to come.
Oh, yeah.
Trust you me, with I do what's called the school run diaries. I had an amazing upbringing with my dad. So the school run diaries are a splitting image of what used to happen when my father used to take me to school.
Oh, really?
But we never used to do the one word. But the relationship I had with my dad going to school was very open. We had a good time. I would listen to all his favorite Bob Marley songs. We would sing along. It was fun. But now I've done it now that I'm equipping my children with some positive inspiration. And trust you me, this is what changes a mindset from one generation to another.
True story.
But takaramba tichingoita zvaitwa with our former parents, and we keep using that mindset, the next generation is not going to be wealthy, because they are a sum total result of what they have been exposed to. And poverty, trust you me, is a result of exposure. Most people, wherever they are, it's because of the amount of exposure you have had. Most people, I say, I grew up in Glenora, and I tell you, people in Glenora, most of my friends are still there. Get it correctly. If they only knew that there's a far bigger life outside than just the high density suburb of Glenora, trust you me, majority of my friends would have made it far more. But majority of them will stay in the same place.
Right.
So when they have kids, they'll stay in that same place, and they'll never see the bigger picture of life. So we have to break this mindset of limitations, of it can't be done, of you can only be in one place, and we need to open ourselves up to a mindset of receiving a whole lot more.
All right, we've got George Billionaire in studio for Hustle Hard, and we're talking about the poverty mindset, and he just came from breaking it down to us that you don't need to have money to have a positive mindset. It's your mind. that we are more concerned about. In isiNdebele, there's a saying that goes, isigogo sigoqwa sisemanzi. Isigogo is like the hide of an animal. If you want to fold it easily, you do it as soon as you skin it, and it's wet and flexible and malleable, you can still fold it. Now, you are talking about speaking well to our children and empowering them. Takura George, who are listening 40 years old, 35, 20, 50, 60. Our mindsets have been molded in a certain way already. Is there a way out? How can I reorient myself and be like, okay, this is how my parents raised me. I'm now discovering this is not the way to do it. They only did it because they were also raised like that. So it was like a domino effect. But now I'm listening to this and I'm hearing, okay, my mindset needs to change. But yeah, can we teach an old dog new tricks?
True that. And truly, I love Sir Colonel Sanders. From KFC. He began his business at 65.
Oh yeah.
He had worked for a good 30 years. And trust you me, at 65, he still had something that he believed in, and he made it come to pass. So with people who say I'm too old, that's an excuse. But as long as you're listening to this program right now, it's never too late to get a book, to start reading, to updating your software.
Yeah.
Now, there's a topic we once raised, to choose your hard.
Yeah.
Right? And choosing your hard, right now, there are a lot of people who are choosing something which is not going to be beneficial for them in years to come. What I did earlier on, 10, 12 years back, I chose a hard life by becoming an entrepreneur. Right? I was raised, told, go to school, get a job, and things will be okay. But then I had to change my mindset because of what I was exposed to. Now, you see, one of the greatest things that I keep telling people that differentiates people who make it and who don't is that type of ambition that pushes you to become a better person.
Yeah.
Who do you look up to? Who do you listen to? Who do you give your ear to? Now, with me, so many greats in the country that I've listened to. I've mentioned names of all these great entrepreneurs in the country of Zimbabwe. These people started from somewhere, and then they got sick and tired of just getting the petty peanuts.
Come on.
And then they decided to go the route less traveled. So to me, the first question I would ask you is, who do you look up to? Who inspires you? Whose story or biography have you studied that says, wow, this person was like this, and you know what? They did something. They chose their heart, and there's so many people out there who are comfortable. We always talk about it. You are comfortable, but to me, I was inspired by so many people, and those people exactly similar to what I did. They resigned from their job. They went off. They started their journey. It took years for them to become established, and now they are seasoned greats. But guess what? That's because they chose what was hard. To majority of people listening, they are scared. That fear, Becky, the thing called fear is what holds a lot of people back. And fear and poverty are very closely related. Right? If you keep living in fear.
Hold up, say it slowly for the people at the back.
Alrighty.
Fear and poverty are closely related.
That's right.
Where there's fear, there's poverty.
That's it. If you see yourself...
What's the difference between risk and fear? Because I know, like, people with money, wealth, and all of that, they take lots of risks. Is there fear attached to risk?
No. People who take risks are fearless.
Okay,
right?
All right.
But people who don't are people
with fear.
That's it.
All right.
So risk takers are the ones who make it in life. If you've never taken a risk, no wonder why your life is where it is today. And I can guarantee you, you're not smiling, you're not happy, you're not enjoying your life. Because, trust you me, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. Remember what we've said about fail. The word fail does not mean wafoira, or things did not work out right. Fail is abbreviated first attempt in learning. So there's something that you have learned out of the experience that you took a risk in. But majority of people, because of what is called fear, they do not even take a risk.
Not at all.
They do not even try because they say, what if I fail? but that is poverty underlined in capital letters.
So every time when we find ourselves asking, what if I fail? Poverty mentality is just waiting by the corner.
That's it. Remember when I told you when I wanted to start my entrepreneurship journey, and my father had a dream about me in tattered clothes, I don't think it's going to work, etc. Now whenever you want to do something great, be very careful. Now God whispers to people to say, Becky, start that journey of becoming an MC. But then you ask somebody who is not an MC and they'll tell you, no, but look around, the country's got so many of them. Sit down, just stay and do your radio. But you don't know that, and you listen to your gut. Now everybody listening has a gut, right? And listen to your gut. Sometime it could be your father, your mother, husband, whoever. Sometimes don't listen to other people's opinions when it's a life that God gave to you. This is your life. Learn to listen to your gut. Your own husband can be wrong. Your own wife could be wrong about what you feel, about what you want to pursue in life. So people shouldn't listen to the opinions of others pertaining their own life and what they want to achieve. When you do that, I can guarantee you, you'll never become what you're supposed to be. So when I chose that journey, trust you me, I didn't listen to what anybody said. I chose my own path, and coming from my father, understand, my father worked in the city council for 35 years.
So there was something that he knew.
Nobody had been an entrepreneur in the family. He wasn't
then
going
he dreamt about his fears.
And then he was like, no. You see, so he wanted to instill his fears on me. But as parents, please, let your children be very free to pursue whatever they want to. From those experiences, they learn. I so much appreciate people who go out and fall, but get themselves back up. Because they learn from those experiences, rather than trying to keep somebody on a leash. You will never become a full version of yourself if you're always going to be held back by a leash.
It's 1:45. We'll take a short break where I'm going to allow our listeners to send through the questions to our WhatsApp platform 0719 100 404. Or if you're watching us on Facebook, send your questions, your comments, or your contributions onto the Facebook platform on the comment section. And then when we come back, I'm going to ask my final questions and then get into your messages. Keep it locked on Capital 100.4 FM. Yes, you are catching the last 14 minutes of Hustle Hard, so maybe you might just catch something. We are talking about the poverty mindset part 2. And last week, if you joined us, George was just basically breaking it down that you are the only person who is standing in your own way of being where you want to be. Change the way you think, change the way that you do things, and do not have a poverty mindset. It actually reminds me of the last message when we knocked off from the show. One of those listeners who said, what kind of a life is he living? Is he just here preaching? Or is he actually living that life? How often do you get those questions, George?
You know, Becky, I remember that was, you're always going to have those people who are going to say the most. But then it's never something that you should let deter you from whatever you want to do. You know, and I've always said to people, live your life to the fullest. To somebody who can give you some sound advice, rather be somebody who is wanting to learn and change your life from the lessons that you learn. I've always said to people, never shoot down somebody who has achieved something you haven't. Never try and belittle somebody who is far higher than you, because you'll never be able to learn and become or even surpass that individual if you shoot down and you hate on other individuals. So, you know, to that brother or sister who sent that message, our purpose on Hustle Hard, as always, is to just give you some amazing insight. People have different views, but I think what we're trying to do here is to transform the minds of people so that they can become better. You know, it's not about, is George living that lifestyle? Trust you me, Becky. I think you know me better than a lot of people. You know where I came from, and you know where I am now. So I can tell you, I'm not in Glenora anymore.
No,
I'm not that guy.
Neither is your mindset.
You see, so I'm totally in a different place. And my purpose of coming on the show is to say there's a lot of people out there who just need a little push for them to get to the other side. Because life on the other side, if only people knew, if they chose just to put a little extra on top of the ordinary that they have, they can also become extraordinary just by putting a little extra. If you just begin to believe in yourself, if you begin to say, but George, you need a side hustle, you need this. Trust you me, it will make sense sooner than later when your side hustle begins to pay you more than what you are doing on your job now. And then you'll be so grateful to say, you know what? It was on a Monday, on Hustle Hard, when I heard these people and they provoked me. My mindset was changed. I thought I could just be a stay-at-home mom and, take care of the kids and not do anything. But now I started an egg business. Now I'm supplying all over, and a lot of things have changed. Saka, what we are always trying to do here is that let's be people of action. Let's be people who implement these nuggets that we get. Let's be people who are positive. We are tired of negative news. It's everywhere. We are tired of gossipers. We are tired of things that are not productive. But here, every single Monday, you'll be intrigued the whole week to say, you know what can I do? And imagine, Becky, we're nearly halfway through the year. And what have you accomplished? We began this year with all those amazing topics. And you know what, to those who have planned the year, imagine, to those who have planned the year, but you can still hear people complaining, murmuring, complaining about the currency, the weather. You'll always have so much to say. But this watch is not waiting for anybody.
No, it's not.
This time is not waiting for anybody. Everybody is in the country of Zimbabwe and wherever they are in the world is experiencing the exact same thing. But there are others who are making it in that same economy and environment. And so you can do too. So it's important that let's embrace a positive mindset and actually just becoming a better people to do some things regardless of all these problems that we face, to just go forward and move on with life.
There's more messages coming through. We have to take an ad break. Interesting messages coming here. Good luck, my guy.
Your boy George Billionaire, and you're listening to Cappy Talk 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat. For yours truly, Becky Kenny.
It's the final minutes for Hustle Hard. We are about to shut it down. George, you branched out to do other business outside, Pro Air. What pushed you to do that? Why not just stick to what was giving you money anyway?
So, Becky, I think one of the most important things people need to understand is that the most important thing you need to do is what we spoke about on a previous show called Focus, which abbreviated is follow one course until success. So I think I've mentioned this before. When you hear the name of any successful person, there's one thing specifically that made them become who they are. And only at a certain stage, as the business grows, you then look at other avenues that can assist your streams of income to increase. And this is why then, because of the mentorship I got from various people to say, George, you need to, scatter your seeds so that you'll be covered and you have additional streams of income. So all that came from my mentors, because they had been in business many years before, but they then advise. So to people out there, I don't encourage you to branch off and diversify too quickly, because you need to make sure that whatever business you've started 10, 15 years is now strongly rooted. A lot of people try and branch out too quickly, and then that affects the main stem of the business, and then the business collapses. So until, of course, it's important, I always highlight, have a mentor, have advisors in your business who can advise you. And when you diversify, there's a quote that says, don't ever let the apple fall far from the tree. Always diversify within already what your existing business does, so that it complements already what you're doing. I think one of the greats of that, we have got Strive Masiwa in the country of Zimbabwe. if you see how he's diversified, it's not too far from his already key existing business, similar to Philip Mataranyika, similar to, so many people I can mention. So when you diversify, avoid really too extreme, diversify within your portfolio so that it complements your already existing business.
All right. Paula puts there hustle hard. Anzi kugeto tinenge tichitoda kubva right now kwane matsotsi vanenge vachiti vanotengesa mastands. Dzimba dzekumasabha totodzidawo. We are struggling a lot kuti zviite pachinorama.
Yeah, true that. I said this even last week. I think one of the best blessings I ever had was the exposure of going across town and staying at my friend's house and just being exposed. Saka wakenda in a different environment, it changes your mindset. You begin to see different things. A bed in Borodo Brook, right, is safe. It knows that I can walk right next to somebody and nothing will happen.
No reggae.
But if you go in a high density suburb, that is lunch, or it knows it cannot even come close to the ground. So there's exposure that happens, and it changes your mindset. Freely. Yeah. So that exposure, trust you me, messes you up. And Kanorimuno, who is inspired, it will do something to you to say, you know what, and especially when you then get to find out that these people also grew up in the high density suburb, but they got to a point where they were exposed. So to me, the most important thing, go to places which make you feel uncomfortable. Those Noraya poverty mentality.
Come on.
And you know what, they mess you up that way. I promise you, you'll never be the same.
From St. Mary's Chitungwiza, this is Lenny Majandu, listening from ZRP St. Mary's. Anzi George billionaire anondi komborera mufungi. Wakomborera office.
Wow.
Komborera office. Office avashaji wait say. George, Anzi Becky, please tell George billionaire that my mind has been consuming his words, and through his inspiration, I decided to set my ball in motion. It's now rolling. The statements that strengthen me from Uncle Billy are: 1, if I can, then why can't I do it? Number 2, behind the doors of my fears lie my treasures. Number 3, an idea is only good enough when it is executed. I remember that one. Number 4, I can do all things through Jesus Christ. This is from Eunice. You are changing lives, Uncle Billy.
Wow.
You're changing lives.
It's important.
You're changing lives.
And this is what we're doing on Hustle Hard. It's good to hear such reviews from people. And this is why we're here. And it's always good to get that feedback.
I love it. Then we've got a couple of people asking to join your group. I've been asked to send, and please send group link. I'm blank now. I'm like, group link where?
Okay.
Can see George billionaires.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
what are they doing?
The GB mentorship hotline number is 0712 840 840. We've got a masterclass, which is
a hotline. 0712 840 840.
That's right. So anybody who wants to join the masterclass, just send a message on that, and you'll be told what to do. There's one-on-one mentorship. There's masterclass. There's a whole lot that happens there. There'll be a link that you'll fill in, and you'll be a part of that team of so many entrepreneurs, so many startups, so many established businesses that you can grow and become the best that you are purposed to be.
Okay, so I'm doing something on IG. Bless your day. Let's hear it.
So, to everybody out there, it's important that everything you want to become begins in your mind, and you need to believe in yourself. You need to speak whatever it is that you want. Whatever you talk about comes about. In this life, there is power in words. Begin to speak forth words of blessing into your life. Begin to speak forth exactly what you want to see, and you will get the results of that.
It's Capital 100.4 FM signing out. Uncle Billy. It's 1 o'clock. Time for the news.